It's May 4th, 2007, and many of the residents of Greensburg, Kansas are fast asleep. Tornado sirens begin to echo throughout the town as a 1.7-mile wide monster is hidden in the darkness, only being illuminated by occasional flashes of lightning. The town of Greensburg, home to nearly 1,500 people, is in the direct path of a tornado that is wider than the town itself. There is nothing that can be done to stop it. During this year, a huge advancement for tornado science was made. For 2007, the United States implemented the brand new Enhanced Fujita Scale to rate tornadoes. Every structure impacted would be assigned to one of 28 damage indicators on a wind estimate. It went from EF0 to EF5, with EF5s having estimated wind speeds of over 200 miles per hour. Up to May 4th, 2007, 3 EF4 tornadoes had occurred, one impacting Enterprise, Alabama, as 9 fatalities occurred, but none had been rated as an EF5. April 30th was when the NWS noted an area of possible severe weather for much of the Great Plains, from May 3rd to 7th. Models were beginning to agree on the same concerning setup of a dip in the jet stream in the western U.S., with warm, humid air flowing into the Great Plains, while a dry line sets up in West Texas. The pattern looked favorable for especially May 3rd and 4th, as these ingredients will cause higher lift, wind shear, and storm organization across the dry line. When the Day 3 outlook was released, the suspicions of possible severe weather had become more concerning, as models continued to outline and show a significant severe weather outbreak across the Great Plains occurring. A Day 3 slight risk was issued, along with a 15% severe weather risk across Kansas, Nebraska, and South Dakota. The following day, the slight risk was kept, but a 30% risk would be issued for much of western Kansas and Nebraska. On the morning of May 4th, a moderate risk would be issued for severe weather over much of Kansas and Nebraska. This was driven by a 45% hatched hail risk, along with a 30% risk of damaging winds. But some isolated, possibly strong tornadoes could occur, as a hatched 15% risk was issued for western Kansas. Dew points sat in the 60s, which is quite humid, as daytime heating and cold air high in the atmosphere would cause extreme instability. A cap, or warm air aloft, would prevent storms from firing early in the day in Oklahoma and Kansas, which will allow for isolated yet powerful storms throughout the night. By the afternoon, the cap in Nebraska and northern Kansas would begin to thin, and storms were beginning to fire. Strong wind shear was expected to sustain supercells and rotation, with the main threats being large hail and damaging winds, but some isolated tornadoes would be possible. At 5:15 p.m., a tornado watch would be issued for parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, highlighting the possibility for strong tornadoes. At 5:30 p.m., the first storms of the night would fire across the dry line. Instability skyrockets to over 5,100 joules per kilogram, creating an incredibly volatile atmosphere. A cluster of cells would begin to develop in the overnight hours. They would stay relatively weak until one of the storms rapidly strengthened in Clark County, Kansas. By 8:30, the storms had become supercellular, with a rotating wall cloud being observed. At 8:45, the storm possibly had a funnel cloud or tornado already on the ground. After numerous weak, short-lived tornadoes, a new tornado would form at 9:03 p.m. in rural Kiowa County, Kansas.
Where's that second one at? Oh man, that's a beautiful tornado.
It moved northeast, impacting rural homes and growing in size. As it continued to move through rural areas, it seemed that it would miss the town of Greensburg. The tornado grew to a gargantuan 1.7 miles wide as a concerning pattern emerged. It started to make a slight occlusion right into the town. Greensburg was under a tornado warning at 9:19 p.m. and was later put under a tornado emergency at 9:41 p.m., saving many lives and allowing people to get underground and in storm shelters.
Service, a tornado emergency now in effect for Greensburg in Kiowa County. And again, I hope that those of you who are not affected will send a good thought your neighbor's way here.
KSN Chief Meteorologist Dave Freeman would begin to warn those in Greensburg of the immense dangers of this violent tornado.
8 minutes to go ahead and finish your tornado precautions. Now, here's what I want you to do. Maybe we have some kids that are home alone tonight with mom and dad enjoying dinner out or something like that. Want to be moving to your tornado shelter. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to turn the volume up on your TV so that you can still hear me. I want you to go ahead and turn the volume up on the computer speakers if you are tracking our storms here live streaming on KSN.com. Leave the volume up so that you can hear us talking with you.
All of these warnings would save possibly hundreds of lives. It reached the town at EF4 strength after weakening slightly, with extraordinary wind speeds nearing 200 miles per hour. Homes would be reduced to a bare slab. Businesses were reduced to rubble, trees were debarked, and vehicles were lofted miles and were left unrecognizable. A large section of the Delmar Day Elementary School was destroyed, and the town's city hall received significant damage. The tornado would once again re-strengthen to EF5 strength, as multiple well-built homes would be swept away. The tornado would then exit the town with 95% of the town being destroyed. Various important buildings in the town for citizens were leveled, including the city hall, grocery stores, hardware stores, and many more necessities for the townspeople. Thankfully, though, this monster tornado would finally dissipate at 10:05 p.m. after a 28-mile path of terror for Greensburg. While the Greensburg tornado had ended, the supercell continued to drop giant tornadoes. The first one would impact multiple farmsteads near the town of Trousdale, Kansas, being rated as an EF3. This tornado was wider than the Greensburg tornado at a max width of 2.2 miles wide. The second tornado would track near Hopewell, Kansas, as one person died. The final strong tornado would impact farmland near the town of Maxville, Kansas, as one person died and 2 were injured. "11 people were left dead, and 63 were injured, and Greensburg was nearly wiped off the map. This tornado was a terrible tragedy, but the National Weather Service did a fantastic job in saving numerous lives. Michael R. Smith made a fantastic document on this tornado, doing research on how tornado safety has progressed in the past 50 years, comparing it to the Udall F5 in 1955, which claimed 82 lives. That tornado had almost no warning, as many of the residents were either injured or killed in the town, as Udall was, at the time, much smaller than Greensburg, as 77 of the 505 citizens died. After some calculations, it was concluded that the warning system could have saved around 230 lives, a testament to the National Weather Service's improvement over the years. The tornado was rated as an EF5 after an NWS survey, the first ever EF5, with maximum wind speeds of 205 miles per hour. After the tornado, Greensburg was in ruin. Almost everything was too far gone to be rebuilt. Around 800,000 square cubic yards of debris was removed from Greensburg in the following year. The tornado wasn't even the last hazard, as the lack of infrastructure would cause potentially dangerous chemicals to leak into the air, which made cleanup even more difficult. FEMA established much-needed temporary housing in Greensburg. FEMA also helped organize meetings to discuss the plan for rebuilding and recovery of the town. An incredible 40,000 meals were served by the American Red Cross. In total, around $100 million in assistance was given by various organizations. In those previously mentioned visionary meetings by FEMA, Greensburg decided to take an eco-friendly approach and make a sustainable town. Wind turbines were installed near the town, and it completed its transformation with all of the energy being green. Many homes were rebuilt, and new neighborhoods were formed, as Greensburg residents have been extremely resilient since the deadly tornado. Despite this, the population of Greensburg has continued a steady decline since the tornado, and the memories of the horrors in Greensburg, Kansas, on that tragic night of May 4th, when the small town was nearly wiped off the map, will never fade away.